Welcome, people of the World Wide Web. So it's Cypher Sigma here, screen time, and another in-depth collection. So let's get into it. And here we are. So we finished off with Ed TV. So the next one is Edward Scissorhands, lovely classic Tim Burton movie. Good old Johnny Depp. Very little bit sad in places, but I very much enjoyed it. Seen it a few times. Eight Below, never seen it because obviously my dog likes barking at dogs. So Eight Below, obviously Paul Walker movie. I've heard it's quite good, so at some point I will get round to it. You can see how long I've had it as the label has faded, even though it's inside. Obviously a big Adam Sandler fan, so Eight Crazy Nights is right up there. I love watching this movie around Christmas. I know it's more about Hanukkah and that, but I still enjoy it. Eight-Legged Freaks, gotta love a good kind of creature feature. I was very drunk the first time I ever watched this at my friend's college place many years ago, or uni place I should say, not college. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I think I've only ever watched it like twice at that time. I haven't seen it since. Election, have got this cheap at a car boot, never seen it, so I can never comment. It's got obviously Reese Witherspoon and Matthew Broderick in it, so it's a good old cast. Then we have Elektra. This is the Jennifer Garner movie from the Daredevil TV series, the movie. So I'm Ben Affleck. I didn't mind this. It's not the best one out there. I do quite like the tattoo guy and stuff. How his tattoos come alive, but it's all right. And then obviously a classic Christmas movie, Elf. Will Ferrell, love this movie. I mean, this is on most people's radar when it comes to Christmas movies. Then we have Elizabethtown, obviously Orlando Bloom and Kirsten Dunst. Yeah, Kirsten Dunst, if you get the right one. So it's kind of love story. If memory serves right, watched it when it first came out, and that's when I bought its DVD. But it's been a long time since I've seen it. Then we have Ella Enchanted. So Anne Hathaway is the kind of Disney princess. But has to do what people say. I thought it was quite, it's coming of era about the Princess Diaries and stuff like that, but I quite like this. Then we have Matt Damon as Elysium, where he is unfortunately dying and tries to save the planet where it's being controlled, or it's a lack of natural resources, and Jodie Foster's in the space station above and he has to go get her. Shelter Copley in it? I think so, yeah. I quite like this movie. Empire Records, obviously Liv Tyler, a classic one about obviously a group of people who work at a radio station and the exploits they get up to. This is obviously the remix version. I can't remember what the difference is, but I thought it was alright. Employee of the Month, yeah, as you can see, Dane Cook, he's not really the best actor in there. Jessica Alba and Dax Shepard. It's alright from what I remember it, nothing really sticks in place. Then Enchanted, I did quite like this first one. I weren't the biggest fan of the second one. We watched it on Disney Plus, and that's why I have not got it, but I thought it was alright. Obviously it is a kind of live action of its own Disney, so it doesn't go in the Disney section. Ender's Game, I did actually really like this. This is why I bought it again, obviously for $1.99. Asa, I think, is the young lad who, Asa, Butterfield. From obviously Sex Education. I thought it was quite good. It was, I think, based on a book, and it's quite interesting where the story actually leads you. Obviously, it's a nice lenticular cover there. Endless Love, still sealed. Never seen it. I have no idea what it's about, except for it's Endless Love. So, yeah, I'll get around to watching it at some point. Then End of Watch, we have obviously the Jake Gyllenhaal cop one. I thought this was quite good. Leads where I don't exactly you expect it to be. Anna Kendrick there, I believe, on the back as his wife. But yeah, I didn't think it was too bad. Then we have Enemy of the Gates. I did quite like this the first time I watched this, about snipers and stuff. I think 1942, so it's World War II, based around and inspired by a true story. And yes, I thought it was quite good as war movies go. Then we have Enigma. So this is based off the Enigma machine that they used, I believe, in World War II again. Obviously, this film is based off a novel. I think they redid this movie with Benedict Cumberbatch. The Imitation Game, maybe I think it was called. But yeah, I did quite like this again. Classic one. I do quite like when they're loosely based off stuff. Enemy Mistake, Gene Hackman and Will Smith. I think I watched this last year or quite recently. I thought it was quite good. Remember says right, kind of Gene Hackman. He's very good. Obviously, it's a shame he doesn't act anymore now, but obviously everybody can't act for the rest of life, and obviously from Tony Scott. Then we have The Entourage. So I love this series back in the day. I tried to rewatch it with my wife, but she did not like it. So we have season 1 there. Then we have season 2, obviously Turtle and Ari Gold. Season 3 part 1, because this is where they like to I think it got a longer series, so they split it into 2 parts. And there is the second part. Then we have season 4. So they're only like 20 minutes an episode, so you get through them in a few hours. It was series 5. Felix round Aquaman. Well, spoiler alert, he plays Aquaman, even though you don't really get to see it. Season 6. Season 7. Season 8, what we thought was the finale of Entourage. But no, they managed to pull a movie out of the works as well, which I thought was quite good as well. It a very good follow-on and ties in a few things and it progresses the story in some cases, specifically with his best mate. I can't remember who his name is now. Then one of my wife's favourite film, Entrapment, Sean Connery and Catherine Zeta-Jones. We did watch this a little while ago. Quite a good ending, if you remember it with the train and stuff. Then we moved down to here, then we have MV. It wasn't the best film in the world as memory, of course. Not much of it sticks in my brain. Then Epic. Yeah, I think a bit too much of Beyonce in this, but I thought, yeah, it was okay. Epic movie, it wasn't. But still got it in there to remind you. Episodes, I'm obviously a big Friends fan, so I've got it. I've never actually got round to properly watching this. I've seen little bits here and there, but I do like Matt LeBlanc, so I'll have to get that. Equilibrium, obviously from the same person who did the Mila Jovovich film that I watched the other week. I can't remember what it's called now. Really, really good film. I love this, the whole no emotions and stuff, and the martial arts side worked very well. Then Eleza. It's the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie where he will erase your identity. I think this is... I did really like the guns where they shoot through the buildings and the heat ray. I thought that was quite a good idea for movies at the time. Obviously, you can see how old it is because it's the cardboard case. You know, we have Erin Brockovich, Julia Roberts. That I quite liked this one again. It was quite a powerful story, obviously, again, based off true events. I've got quite a few of those in there, and Aaron Eckhart. But yeah, it's good. Then we move into ER, so a big ER fan. This was kind of the very first he's got into. Big fan of Noel Wiley there on the right, Dr. Carter. And me and my wife like medical dramas, so we have started to re-go through this. So there's season 1 and 2. Obviously Michelle Manganese as well from The Good Wife. Season 3. Season 4, obviously I've got thick versions, the thin versions, which is really annoying, but I got what I could. Season 5, 6, 7 we started, but obviously a character finds out that they've got a brain tumour, so we haven't really gone because it's quite depressing. Season 8. Yes, Mark, it's season 8. And then season 9, I know the dog. How much ER do you have? Season 10. There. Obviously, you see Dr. Carter hangs around for quite a long time in this series. Season 11. I think he was the longest running character. Obviously, takes a step away in this season. 13. Obviously, still bringing in the new names and faces. 14. A more slimline casts. And then finally the 15th and final season of ER. A lot of change has gone through, and obviously I quite like all the old cast members are featured in the backgrounds there. Then we go for Escape from Hung-Chi. I believe this is slightly loosely based off a true story. Yeah, it is. There you go. It's quite good about Jonathan Rhys-Meyers. He tries to help some kids basically get over the border during a war in, I think, somewhere like Japan or that. Very powerful story, a bit of a sad ending, but a good, powerful story. And then we have Snake Plissken, Escape from New York, classic movie. Bought this, I haven't got around to rewatching it in a long time, but obviously if you have Escape from New York, you've got to have Escape from LA. Good old Snakey's back. Then after it, big fan of Jim Caviezel, his acting career, so really like this. He was the bad guy in it with Stallone and Schwarzenegger. Escape Plan, I know they've done quite a few more. Escape Room, because me and my wife and friends like doing a lot of escape rooms, so we had to get this one. Then the classic Escape to Witch Mountain. Obviously they redid it with The Rock, I think, in later life. And there we go, that is the one they redid. Then we move along to a film that was brought out the year I was born, E.T. the Extraterrestrial. Good old, very young Drew Barrymore there. Then we have Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, Hugh Grant and Kate Winslet in a very weird, kind of psychological, but still good if memory serves me right. Eulogy, I bought this, I've never seen it, so I have no idea. I assume someone must die in it from the looks of it, and they go through grieving. Eurotrip, really liked this back in the day, really thought it was very funny and clever in places. Obviously it was around the age of American Pie and that was the perfect kind of movies for me. Excessive Baggage, Alicia Silverstone and Benito del Toro, if I can get my words out. Kind of a hitman, tries to kidnap her, I believe, because she's the daughter of someone famous or rich. I think Christopher Walken and Vic Bersin, yeah. And yeah, I thought it was quite good, has a few twists and turns. Then we have Event Horizon. This was a special edition that Matt's V Movies got me, or gave me, I should say. Ever After, Drew Barrymore, Andrew Hudson, and him. Dudley Scott, obviously he was round about this time, I think, auditioning for Wolverine and did decide to take the role. So I quite like Drew Barrymore, I quite like the cheesy romantic ones. Then we have Everything Must Go. I've not seen this film, but I think it looks really funny, where he loses his job and his wife divorces him and all this stuff is on his lawn. Yeah, it's on my list. I will watch it at some point. Jason Biggs here in Evil Women. Again, around the American Pie era where they were pumping out loads of films. It was okay. Obviously Jack Black there, nothing spectacular. Really love this movie as a comedy more than anything. Obviously Evolution, just the perfect acting of David Duchovny, Orlando Jones and Sean William Scott, and all the creatures and the mutations just work so well. Obviously they did make an animated series of this as well. Then we have Kurt Russell's executive decision, where he's obviously on board, I think, the president's plane and got to help him out. And I think Steven Seagal helps him out, if my memory serves me right, unless I'm thinking of the wrong film, which I could be. He might only be in it for a little while. Yep, Steven Seagal. Then more Steven Seagal with Exit Wounds and DMX. Meh, it was alright. Obviously it was an era where my dad liked quite a lot of movies like this, so I watched these with him, so I always have memories of that. Even though my dad is still around, it's good to have these for future, not to be a bit morbid. Then we have Ex Machina. I only watched this recently. I thought it was an interesting movie about AI and trying to escape and stuff like that, but yeah. Then we have Exodus, Gods and Kings with Christian Bale. Never seen it. It's one of those big epic ones that I need to get round to watching at some point. Then we have Exposed, the Keanu Reeves one. I started watching with my wife and I think she turned it off after 20 minutes. I went back and watched it and didn't think there was much to it, in all fairness. Keanu, it was a miss for me. And then the final one is Extracts. I've never seen, so I cannot comment. And that's where we end it for today. There we go. Hope you liked the video and showing the in-depth of my collection. Obviously, we're getting through it. We're still through the D's, the E's section, so plenty more to go, as you can see around there. But yeah, lots more to come. I've been Cypher Sigma. Like, comment, subscribe if you wish to. I hope you enjoyed the videos, and I'll see you in the next one.